Portland 126 years ago was truly a dirty city. The founders of the Portland Art Museum, they could perceive that the value and the role of art in clarifying and cleansing the city was vital. And they weren't looking just at it from an aesthetic value. They were looking at it truly as a way of inspiring and encouraging people to clean up their place, using art as a means to do that.
When I first started at the museum, I kept coming across this name, C.E.S. Wood. He was one of the founders of the museum. He was important for a number of reasons in Portland. He really transformed the whole city through his taste. He was a great art collector, and he was a believer in the importance of original art.
There were several unique qualities of the museum in its early years. Got a great start in having B Crocker involved, who not only had brought curatorship to the museum, but also a strong sense of the role that a museum must play in education, which was new in American museum studies in that first decade or two of the 20th century.
B Crocker is this fascinating woman. She was in touch with galleries in Boston, galleries in New York, galleries in San Francisco, so she often would call on them as well as on private collectors in Portland when she was organizing her exhibitions. Of course, her most famous was, or infamous, was bringing Marcel Duchamp's Nude Descending a Staircase to Portland. She just thought that it was so important to be in touch with what was sort of the cutting edge of art.
That was a way for us to bring great global influencers to Portland. And we've continued that tradition with important exhibitions on Van Gogh in the 1950s, which is very much part of our history, to more recently in the last 20 or 30 years, looking at the tombs of China, bringing great treasures from the British Museum, from Venice, from Paris, and throughout our history, art is a way for us to communicate as human beings across geography and time.
I am so grateful that I get to be here on the 125th anniversary. This museum, this city has changed my life.
I'm very proud of working in a job that is essentially about acquiring beautiful, thought-provoking works of art and making them available to the public at large. This is a thing of great pride for me, and I think for all of the curatorial staff at the Portland Art Museum.
One of the main transformative moments for the museum in terms of the photography collection would certainly be the 1942 acquisition of our minor white photographs of Portland and the Portland area. The museum was very, very interested in photography and had been showing photographs in exhibitions since 1905, but it was in 1942 when the first official acquisitions of photography entered the collection.
Fresh Film is one of the oldest teen film festivals in the country. It's a chance for our own regional audiences to really get inside what being a part of this part of our country is about.
Certainly a defining moment for Asian art at the Portland Art Museum came in 1932, the year that the Beluski Building opened. One of the first exhibitions there was of Japanese prints from the collection of Mary Anders Ladd.
There is a deep celebration of support for artists of this region, and I think that continues today. So we can have a very comprehensive work by Lucinda Parker and Morris Graves.
One of the things I appreciate here at the museum in the way that we exhibit and collect contemporary art is the real collaborative spirit that our curatorial department has developed in recent years. We've been acquiring works that can be exhibited in the Native American art galleries or the contemporary art galleries. We are collaborating on exhibitions together and really thinking broadly about what contemporary art is today, who is making contemporary art, and offering a very deep perspective for our visitors to engage with this sometimes complicated work.
I'm grateful that the Portland Art Museum created the Native American Advisory Board, which I'm a part of. I think it's very unique that the Art Museum has opened the door for the Native American community to come sit at the table. So say Haishika to the Portland Art Museum. Thank you.
We are defined by the artist. The artist helps shape our vision, and they help shape our program and our collections, and we will maintain that commitment. In many ways, by maintaining that commitment, I think we respond and we reflect and we also honor the past.
We want to be able to produce things that allow young people to look at them and say, I didn't know. I wasn't aware that it was okay for me to give this voice. And as this museum knows, one of the foremost 1% artists in this country had her moment of inspiration here.
My memories of the Portland Art Museum was 1994. I came in to see the Carrie Mae Weems photographic show. That show was extremely inspirational to me and life-changing. It inspired me and really made me think about being an artist. It was one of the first times seeing a contemporary African-American woman's work in an institution like this.
So again, that was a beautiful synthesis, right? A symbiotic moment when your role, even in this environment, one person left her. She came and saw Carrie Mae Weems, left here and became one of the major artists in America. That's our equal mission.
Many of the Portland Art Museum's great successes over its history have been programs or exhibitions or initiatives that tapped a community's deepest interests and desires and did so in inventive ways. And so I think the museum has a real instinct, a real capacity for that.
Each year, the museum connects with about 25,000 students across this community and really across the state. This museum has an incredibly long, deep, and historic relationship with the public school system here in Portland and in the region. In fact, we've been working with Portland Public Schools for over 100 years on some amazing projects that connect the youth of this community with art and culture.
One of the things we talk about at the Art Museum is being of the community, not just in it. So as our city and our region and the community evolves, this museum will go along for that ride.
We are constantly shaping the collection. It's changing from year to year, and you can see that as you look back in our long history, and it gives us so much excitement for what's to come.
I know that museums are changing. I know that museums that are not changing absolutely need to change. Something has to happen so that we are engaged more deeply as human entities.
Our city is becoming very global, but at the same time still cherishes the local. And so there's this great tension between globalism and regionalism, which is a healthy tension. And I think in many ways, our museum will continue to reflect that and be a part of that exciting moment as we move into the 21st century.